There's no starting over now. Welcome to another Math and Man episode. Today we're gonna try to save some money by giving my son a haircut. Mr. Silva is trying to save money by cutting his son's hair. My son's name is Miles. Every time he cuts his hair, he slowly makes up for the cost of buying his equipment. He is still down $190 after the first time he cut his son's hair. This is the picture of my first haircut. It wasn't too bad. After the fourth haircut, he is only down $100. Question A. Set up a graph of the scenario. What will go on the x-axis and y-axis of your graph? I mean, we are in point of time 2022 where inflation is crazy, so I gotta save some money. The scenario is talking about money saved after every haircut, where X is my haircuts and Y is my money. So if you want to pause the video and copy the graph down if you're following along, do so. And I'm going to highlight the important information in the paragraph. And it's usually the stuff with numbers on it. The first one is, I am down $190 after the first time I cut his hair. And the second part is, after the fourth time I cut my son's hair, I'm only down $100. So let's put that into math as coordinates. The first one in pink. So information is actually backwards. 1 for haircuts, down $190. We can write the yellow part down, the yellow highlighted information, in the same manner, where 4 is the number of haircuts, and I'm only down 100 after I cut his hair 4 times. So let's go ahead and plot that on the board. If I plot those points on my coordinate plane, it'll look something like this. 190, negative 190 is really close to 200, so it's somewhere there. And 4 and 100 is way over here. And I'm going to draw a line to represent that situation. It'll look something like that. Part B, from what you learned, as long as you have 2 points, you can write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form by using this formula. Y equals mx plus b. In order to write this format, this slope-intercept form, I'm going to need a slope and I'm going to need a y-intercept. Let's go ahead and find the slope. And as long as I have 2 points, which are these two, I can get a slope. Every time I run the slope formula, I always just draw the fraction bar and 2 minus signs right away. That way I don't forget any negatives when I plug stuff in. So y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1, negative 100 minus negative 190. And that's what I'm talking about here. The double negative sometimes appears, and that's why I set up the slope formula like that. And 4 minus 1. Simplify some stuff. That's going to be 90 over 3. So my slope equals 30. Now that I have my slope, I can find my y-intercept. And to find my y-intercept, I need to pick one of these points to use as my xy. And I'm going to use this slope right here. So let's plug that into y equals mx plus b. My y is negative 190 equals my slope, which is 30, times my x1 plus b. Simplify some stuff. 30 times 1 is 30. And then all I got from here is a simple equation to solve for b. Subtract 30 on both sides. And I got negative 220 equals b. And now I have both pieces of the puzzle. I can write my equation as y equals 30x minus 220, which is my y-intercept. How much is he saving every haircut, and how much did his equipment cost? Every haircut, I am saving 30. That is my slope. I actually looked up that price, and that's the average price of cutting a toddler's hair in Chicago. My y-intercept, 220, represents the cost of my equipment. Moving on to letter D. How many haircuts will it take me to break even? I can answer this question in 2 ways. One is just to look at my graph. Breaking even means I made up for the cost of my equipment. So at the 0 line, that is my break even point. That is about a little over 7 haircuts. If I wanted to find the exact value, I can use the equation I wrote for letter B. Breaking even means 0, so we can replace the letter y with 0. And now it's just a simple equation from here. If I solve for x, I will figure out the exact amount of haircuts I need to get all my money back from my equipment. Add 220 on both sides. 220 equals 30x and divide by 30. So x equals 7.3. Repeating. Well, I can't just leave Miles hanging with a third of a haircut. So we are going to round that up to 8 haircuts. And the last question. How much money will Mr. Silva save after cutting his hair 50 times? We can use the same equation right here, except this time we're given a different value to replace. 50 haircuts. So I'm going to change that x to 50 and I can answer this question right here. Y equals 30 times, instead of x, again, we're replacing it with 50, the amount of haircuts. Let's see how much I'll save over the long run. 30 times 50 is 1,500. Y equals $1,280 in savings. Wow. You can learn a lot of things on YouTube just like cutting hair. And I hope you learned from this one. And if you like this episode, throw a like and a subscribe. And I will see you on the next episode. Peace.